I'd say my biggest fear is to get locked into a position for 2, 3, 4 years where I'm not really learning anything, not really growing as a person. To me, I know that I'm going to have to put in my time. And I know corporations just aren't going to have management positions springing up, for me to fill. So I know I'm going to have to put in my time, but while I'm working, I really want to develop and grow as a person and as an individual, I think. So you are marketable for that next career move or that next promotion. And also, it seems like there's a real pressure to get a higher education now, even more so than before, to really go back and get a master's in business or something related to your field. Because, in my opinion, and a lot of my friends' opinion, you just can't be competitive in today's work environment without that extra degree.
I guess my fear, excuse me, would be a lack of balance. Like, as a woman, it's, to be committed full-time to any job is, it's a big deal, because if you want to have a family, sometimes you're going to have to make big sacrifices in either direction. And I strive to find a job where I'm going to be able to challenge myself and fulfill that need, but at the same time be able to have a family if I want one, and be able to excel in that direction as well.
I think I would most fear being stagnant more than anything. I want a job that's taking me new places, is very dynamic, is very fluid in terms of the skill set that's necessary and aptitudes. I would really want a position that's real. Personally, I think the best, since I'm talking to people who work in HR, I think we need to have mentors, not just your manager, but you need to have someone who's at a peer level who can give you a clear idea of what the real expectations, not the stuff on paper, the real expectations at a company. We were discussing earlier how in college, it's all laid out for you. You've got your syllabus, you've got what's weighted, where you need to put your emphasis. Certain professors are really looking for this, where another professor might be focused in another area. But when you get to the workforce, it's just you're floating. You don't have that level of breakdown. So to be able to have a peer would be really useful. And that comes back to just if you're feeling like you're a cog in the machine, to have another peer to know that it's not a personal issue, it's something that's just part of the company.
I think the word stagnant used before would be a good thing to describe what I'm afraid of. I don't want to be doing very monotonous tasks, not really going forward or progressing. I understand that business can be cyclical, and so you're going to be doing the same things over and over again, but very much my work does boil down to very simple things that I do, and I can describe my what I do in a couple paragraphs. I don't want that to be my job. Although it's a little more complex, how I actually go about doing it. I'm very much not using my full capacity. My full intellectual capacity, my full skill set. And I really wish I could be at a place that would, although my title is this, and this is my official job description, well, you could do this, and you're good at that. So, well, why don't we have you do that? Because it seems you're passionate about it. And so you kind of get locked in sometimes, it seems, in these roles at large companies. And that's what I'm a little afraid of.
I'm afraid of committing more time and my education and money into one path if I might change my mind down the line, or if it's not very useful to me. Like, I came out of college from a pretty respectable school, good grades, and I had trouble getting hired at first. I went through 3 rounds of I would switch jobs, but it was a long interview process. I was looking to a lot of nonprofits, and that was much harder to get into than Google. So I felt like, I got a degree. I did plenty of work. I worked while I was in school. I interned, and I still can't get jobs at these places I want. So maybe having a degree isn't that useful if I don't have the experience in that field. So do I commit to going to grad school, or should I spend that time working in the fields I want to be in?